Hey guys, welcome back to Open Up, platform for getting psychoeducated. In the last video, we have talked about cognitive distortions, and through a series of demonstrations, I had shown you what are the different funny ways that human beings think in, which actually add up to their own problems. So I had mentioned in the last video that I will be covering how to break these cognitive distortions, what to do about them once you have identified them. Because it's very important, right, that just knowing that you are having a cognitive distortion is not enough. You need to know how to make your way through the cognitive distortion. So if you haven't watched the video on cognitive distortions, do go and check it out. It's there in my latest videos, and do see it, watch it, and let me know if you do any of those cognitive distortions. Now moving on to what to do about it. So it's basically a 3-step procedure, and you can say that is 0, 1, 2, 3, so kind of a 4-step procedure. And the first 0 step in that is identification of the cognitive distortion, because if you don't know who your enemy is or what your enemy is, you won't be able to devise strategies to be able to face that enemy. So the very first step is, after you have accepted that yes, I am having a cognitive distortion and I need to work on it. After that, the very first step that you need to do is asking yourself that where is the evidence to support my thought. So this is a very incredible way to challenge your cognitive distortions, because it really hits it right in that spot. That if I am thinking that since my colleague did not smile at me, I am sure that she is mad at me. So if I am doing emotional reasoning of some sort, asking the question that where is the evidence that she is not happy with you, or where is the evidence that she is mad at you. Once you ask that question, you immediately diffuse the entire truth of that cognitive distortion, and you yourself realize that yes, there is no evidence really that I can point to, there is no way that I can prove this thought that I am having. So let's see how you can use these techniques in other kinds of cognitive distortions. So one more that we had talked about was overgeneralization. So you always do this, or you never do this. So when you use these words very frequently, you actually are indulging in the overgeneralization cognitive distortion. So how will this question help in bursting that? So where is the evidence that he or she does it always? So actually sit down and make a list of all of the instances that you are upset about. Let's say if I'm in the last video, I had portrayed a situation where my friend is late, and I say that we are always late for our meetings. So maybe if I were to carry that forward, I would sit down and I would make a list of all the times we have met, and how many times out of those has she been late, how many times has she kept me waiting. And then once I have it on the paper in black and white, I know that yes, it's not always, it's most of the times, or it's majority of the times, or not at all, very few times, but definitely not always. So let's move on to the next technique. The second way that you can burst cognitive distortions are by asking yourself, is this a fact or an opinion? Now most of us get really confused between what are facts and what are opinions. Opinions are something which are subjective. They can vary from person to person. So something like, I like pizza, this is an opinion. But I live in India, it's a fact. There is no disputation that can be done to this thought that I live in India. Yes, yes, it's a fact that I live in India. But I love pizza, or the next person might not love it, and that's okay. That's my opinion that I love pizza. And most of the fights or most of the disagreements that happen between people happen because people fail to realize that what they believe are just opinions. They are not facts that are rooted in science, or that can be backed up again with a lot of evidence that you are holding on to it like a fact. So always ask your thoughts this question, that is this thought my personal opinion or is it a fact? So something, my parents said no for me to go to a trip. Yeah, so that's why they don't love me. So again, asking yourself that is it a fact or is it an opinion? Is it your opinion based on this one incident that you are thinking that your parents don't love you? But is it a fact? Can you prove it? Is there a scientific evidence to all of that? So a fact is something that is grounded in a lot of rationality, that is grounded in research. It has some strong scientific backing to it. That's why you say that it's a fact. and facts, like I just mentioned, cannot be changed. They are set in stone. But opinions, on the other hand, can definitely be changed. Today I like pizza, might not like it in another 10 years, or I might still like it in 10 years. That is the beauty of having an opinion, that it might or might not change. But considering that opinions are facts, that is where your most of the cognitive distortions come in picture, or they kick in gear. And which is why the second thought that you can ask yourself, second question that you can ask yourself to burst that cognitive distortion is this a fact, or is it simply my opinion? So I like to say that these are the 3 gates through which your thought should pass. So you have covered the first 2 gates. Now let's say that your thought passes through the first 2 gates, okay? You actually do find that your co-worker is not really happy with you, which is why she did not smile at you. You actually think, you trying to get to know that it's for a fact a person in your office does not like you. So then how do you still get your way out of the cognitive distortion? Because at the end of the day, the goal of all of this is that your own emotional duress, your own problem should go down. Your emotional instability should reduce, which is actually rooting from the cognitive distortions. So if your thought does not go through the first 2 barriers, great, good job. You have just successfully broken the cognitive distortions chain. But if it goes through the 2 gates and you are now stuck at the 3rd gate, that I did find evidence and I did find out that it's a fact, but it's still upsetting me, it's still bothering me, then what do? That is the time when you actually ask the 3rd question: is this thought helping me in any way, or is it unhelpful, or can I live with the worst case possibility of this thought? So if for me the worst case is that my colleague is disliking me, can I still live with it? Can I still function in spite of it? Or is thinking constantly that my colleague hates me and it's awful and it's bad, is it helping me in any way? If my goal is to reduce my emotional instability or my own pain, is thinking in this manner helping me reach it in any way? So this is most often than not, this thought really helps you to burst that cognitive distortion, because you realize at the end of the day that your own emotional suffering needs to get priority, and that should go down no matter what. So even if the thought does pass through the first 2 gates, the 3rd gate will definitely help you to break that cognitive distortion. So these were the 3 simple and go-to techniques that you can use while you realize that I am engaging in a cognitive distortion. So do use it and let me know either in the comment section, or there is a number right now on which you can text me and let me know which cognitive distortions you found out that you were engaging, and how did you make your way through out of it. Did you use my techniques? Did you use something additional to what I spoke about in today's video? That's it for today. I'll see all of you guys next time. Till then, take care. Bye.